Man, I had so much fun putting together that intro. I'm ready to run through a wall. Welcome back to the series. This is the National Championship Game episode in Season 5. If you're new, I'm Kimbroplays. We've been on a mission to turn the Marshall Thundering Herd into a perennial power in college football. We've moved them over to the ACC Conference and are trying to win our second national title in a row. Last episode, the number 1 seed Thundering Herd took on unlikely contender and college football playoff participant, number 4 ranked Arkansas State in the Rose Bowl semifinal, and we absolutely handled our former Sun Belt Conference foes with ease, 56-10, as Heisman Trophy winner James Fuqua plays only the first half, still throws for 271 yards, and is responsible for 6 touchdowns. It was a beatdown that we put on those guys last week, but now we turn our attention to a very good Florida program that has made their 3rd straight college football playoff, and they won a championship in Season 3. They were able to sneak past Northwestern 28-26 in the Sugar Bowl, and we will fight the Gators for ownership of this little mini dynasty run that both teams have been on the last few years. Let's get into the episode. Marshall comes into this one 14-0. Big wins at Florida State and in overtime at Miami, and then we have dominant wins against a good Clemson team and a good Pitt team in the ACC title game. 28 is the most points in a game that we have given up all season, and in 6 games we've given up less than 10. Florida has scored 27 or more in every single game and held under 30 only twice. They have big wins against number 7 Kentucky and an impressive blowout of number 5 Georgia. They handled the same ranked Florida State team that we played and Texas A&M late in the season. So both teams are absolutely battle tested. B+ for both of us on paper, and both programs win games with a slightly better offense than defense. Although I must say Marshall's number 2 ranked D stands out against Florida's 46th ranked total defense. They're also 78 in rush D, so they can give up yards particularly on the ground, but they do turn you over pretty good. Top 25 in turnover differential. Despite Northwestern and Arkansas State making the playoffs, this really is the matchup college football deserved. Not just because they are the 2 most recent title winners getting a chance to square off, but because this game features the best players in college football. 19 total All-Americans between first and second team honors. Both rosters have guys littered everywhere on this list, not to mention the Heisman winner from our side. This is what you want to see for the national title. In our world, Dan Mullen is not on ESPN. He is still at Florida, and he's been doing work. Only 7 losses in 5 seasons, 3 straight SEC titles, and like I mentioned, hoisting the national championship in Season 3. He's finishing up year 2 of a 7-year extension. He's got A+ coach prestige, so as long as he's in Gainesville, those guys are going to be legit. Also legit, our guy Gerard Mayo, 3rd playoff appearance of the series, and he's got to be the hottest young coach in college football. He's got 1 title already to his credit, and another one today puts him in some esteemed company in the sport. Just listen to this list. Guys who have 2 national titles: Dabo Sweeney, Joe Paterno, Pete Carroll, Bobby Bowden. Guys who get to 3: Urban Meyer, Tom Osborne from Nebraska, Barry Switzer, Newt Rockne, Walter Camp. So this is a big one for the legacy, but actually not just for Coach Mayo. Dan Mullen could get to number 2 as well. So a lot is on the line for both programs, but the coaches too especially. A lot of experience. They're led on offense by Bergstrand and Del Rio Wilson, who have been contributors for years in this program. They have talent at all 3 levels of the defense. They've got 3 offensive linemen who are 88 or better. It is a talented squad, but I think they are a little bit worse than their last 2 playoff rosters, as they have sent a ton of guys to the NFL the past couple seasons. In these games, oftentimes it's the quarterback that matters the most, and they have a great one. Del Rio Wilson is a 3rd-year starter, and he is playing better than he did the year they won the national title. We faced this Florida group last year in the semifinal, if you remember. We won 34-14, but Del Rio Wilson was hurt and couldn't go. So they trotted out there Anthony Richardson, and he did not look ready. So now we have to deal with their ace quarterback today. The defending champions have the Heisman winner, and he lifts everyone else's play. 96 overall James Fuqua has been balling out all year, and it means we can hang with anyone. We also trot out there a former Thorpe Award winner in Josh Hardiman, who's a playmaker for this defense. John Bass, Ethan Payne are go-to guys on offense, and don't forget, Kevin Hayes is the best kicker in the country. We're going to need one more huge effort from our quarterback in this one to cement this legacy and go back-to-back for the championships. Monday, January 8th, 8 p.m. Enough talking about it, it's game time. Florida has it teed up, and we are underway in Atlanta. Casey Smith, settles under it from his 4, working up the right hash. Gets hit initially around the 20, and then is going to get drugged down. They give him 17. Marshall starting this one from their 19-yard line. Under center, Fuqua, play action on first down. Stands in the pocket, lobbing to the sideline. A little bit awkward, incomplete, looking for Tommy Chambers. 2nd and 10, 5-step drop, quick short throw. Now he finds Chambers. This time it's for 3 yards, and we're stuck with a 3rd and 7 on this opening drive. Fuqua's got plenty of time, drifts. Everyone's covered downfield. He's just going to tuck, run, and slide and pick up the first down. First 3rd down conversion of the day using Fuqua's legs as Payne shifting to the outside, looking for space, and he's going backwards. Tackled for loss by Dennis Daniels, probably their best defensive player. Now a 2nd and 13, protection holding up and then falls apart as Fuqua goes to throw it, incomplete. 3rd and 13, Matthews the motion man. All the way across the formation, we try to sneak it with the jet sweep, going to the boundary. 1-yard loss. Phillip Roberts in there on the tackle, and Marshall's drive very conservative quickly as we punt this one away. Patton, the backup running back, shedding a few tackles, gets across the 50. Terrence Patton with the 22-yard return. Marshall's drive conservative there on 3rd down and long, and we quickly punt that ball back to him. Bergstrand, the 2-yard rush on 1st down, setting him up. Play action on 2nd, swatted away by Mario Sanders in nice coverage. Del Rio Wilson's first pass of the day knocked away. Leaves him with a 3rd and 8 on their opening possession. Oh, he flips this one out to Jackson, who just shook away from Watkins. Steven Jackson, I think he's the tight end, number 85, making a nice play. Now Del Rio Wilson on the speed option to Patton, the backup running back, who's in the game. 3 yards, picks up a good one, and they're knocking on the door of the red zone already. Del Rio Wilson loading up to the end zone. It's underthrown and behind, and David Watkins, he comes up with this interception, decides to return it out, gets across the 20, now down to the 25, stumbling. What a huge play, as we were definitely looking a little sketch, giving up a couple first downs, a few big plays, but a bad throw by Del Rio Wilson to the back of the end zone, and David Watkins saves the day. So Marshall's got it back from the 25 as if nothing happened. Fuqua being chased by 2 Gators defenders, and he's technically going to not get back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to call that a sack, even though it is 2nd and 10. 5:15 to play in the first quarter. 2nd possession of the day. Marshall taking a deep shot, and William Matthews was down there, just overthrew him. Fuqua early, 1 for 4 to start the day. Out of the pocket, looking to run. Can he get to the first down yardage on 3rd and 10? He cannot. Going to leave us with a 4th and 1 and a big decision looming from our own 35. Staying in there in shotgun, we give it left to Ethan Payne. Woo, he barely gets across the first down yardage and keeps this drive alive. I like the aggressiveness a little early, probably to be too aggressive as we flip it out to Armstrong on 1st down. He's got 4. But I think that's the type of thing that's going to need to happen in a game like this. We're going to have to take some shots. We're going to have to be aggressive as we call up 4 verticals here on 2nd and short. Fuqua escapes the pocket as they were in man coverage, is able to scramble for 13 and get us another first down as Marshall is across the 50. Now an Ethan Payne counter run out of shotgun. It's a big one as he fights off Daniels downfield, gets inside the 20. It's a 25-yard carry for Ethan Payne, and that was a huge run as we definitely need the running game to be effective today. Finding Payne out of the backfield on the next play. He gets chipped. He's got 7. Sets us up with a 2nd and 3. Looking to the end zone. This one's fired wide as Fuqua and his receivers have not been really dialed in together yet. 3rd and 3 as we try to go to the weak side, and this play was eaten up all the way by the Florida defensive line. Landon Lambert in there on the TFL, and this time not going to be too aggressive. Take your points, take your medicine. You marched it downfield. Let's go ahead and get this one. Points on the board. Marshall takes the early lead, 3-0. Bergstrand, his first run of the day as he's breaking off a tackle, 17 yards, and he shows good contact balance, shows a little burst of speed, some power. He finally gets tracked down by Kerryon Martin, but that's an impressive run by their top running back, Del Rio Wilson. Finding him again, fights off a tackle of Folk, 11 yards and a first down. This is the Bergstrand drive. Del Rio Wilson across the middle to Coley, gets bumped. It's a short 2-yard gain. Now a 2nd and 8 upcoming, a minute to go in the first quarter. Marshall with the 3-0 lead. Florida has it in driving. Bergstrand breaking a tackle, breaking another tackle. Play that should have went for a loss, a screenplay, ends up getting them 3, and it's a 3rd and 5. Across the middle to Orlando Lyles, who takes a big shot, fights off a tackle, has 6, and is able to get the first down. Shotgun play action. Looking left, and Del Rio Wilson a little high and wide. Incomplete. Gonna leave him with a 2nd and 10. Coley, the motion man, now gets into the backfield. It's a speed option right. Del Rio Wilson keeps it, goes straight up the field, and instead of working out on the outside and pitching, and he picks up a 20-yard gain, a big chunk play in the run game from the QB. Now Bergstrand up the middle again as they're gashing our run defense here. That was the final play of the first quarter. 2nd and 2 from about the 5-yard line. Del Rio Wilson escapes the Hubbard tackle. He should have been sacked in the backfield. He's got 6, and he sets him up with a 1st and goal from about the 1.5. Looking left to Bergstrand out of shotgun. Fumbles the ball in the end zone. It's loose. And Carlos Morgan, an offensive lineman, is going to dive on it in Florida. That's how they're going to get their first score of the day. This is craziness as Bergstrand holding the ball in the wrong hand. Ryan Young uses his paw, swats it out of there, and it's at the feet of 3 Marshall players, but it's the offensive lineman trailing the play who dives on it and gets the points on the board. Dan Mullen is fired up for his attentive, smart offensive lineman to get the points for them. They tack on the extra point. 7-3 is our score. Ensuing kickoff, it's going to be Eric Love working his way up the left side, and that's a nice big return. Switching the momentum for us, gets it out across the 45, and we are in great shape to start our 3rd possession of the day. Payne on 1st down, running up the middle, short pickup of 2. Armstrong the motion man, almost the same play. Payne working the left side. He's got 6, and that's a 3rd and manageable for Marshall. Fuqua throwing, gonna step up. Looking to run, gets around the linebacker, now gets up outside of the DBs onto the 3rd level of the defense. We love to see Fuqua step up into the pocket and run versus always escaping out the side, and that's the kind of thing you get. Get that vertical power run game, he slides down and protects himself, and Marshall set up at the 26 of Florida, looking to put some points on the board, get this lead back. There's a nice good run from Ethan Payne on 1st down. 2nd and 2 upcoming. Play clock ticking down. Fuqua, fake play action, gonna keep it himself as they play man coverage down here in the red zone. He just eats that up. They're going to do a good job covering us. We're just going to tuck and run. Payne up the middle to the 1. He's going to get grabbed and go down. Ethan Payne with a good chunk play there of 12 yards. He's averaging about 7 yards per carry right now as we go play action. Looking over the middle. No way. No, Daniels the linebacker, but more specifically, look at Matthews. We're looking him, trying to get him to go in the back line of the end zone. Just keep running. William, you're about to come wide open, and as we hit circle, he stops and turns towards the football. I mean, he's going to be wide open, and I'm anticipating him finding that space across the back right corner of the end zone. And as we separate, you see he's still running that direction, and he just stops and comes back. And Daniels, the linebacker, and a different DB would have been there to intercept. About 4 people would have picked that ball off. That is devastating. Marshall gets it all the way down in the red zone. We're down on the scoreboard, and we don't come up with anything. Bergstrand with a good delay run on 1st down. He's got 11. Now Coley over the middle. It's going to leave him a 2nd and 5. Tipped at the line of scrimmage. This one swatted down. Nice play there. But that is a backbreaker for the Marshall offense. Oh, that hurts. Del Rio Wilson, sprint, roll out left. Has nowhere to go with it, and he's going to go down. Jermaine Johnson and the Marshall D comes up with the really solid 4-play pseudo 3 and out. Get the ball back for this offense. And we've done a good job moving the ball. We've given up a sack. We've thrown an interception, but we've put yards up, so we just need to keep that whole process going. Doesn't help to get 1 yard from Ethan Payne on 1st down. 2nd and 9 as we're under 4 minutes in the first half. Flipping it to the sideline. There's Armstrong. Brennan Armstrong with a 13-yard gain. We love to see it. Payne running off tackle right. Drug down after 2 yards. 2nd and 8. Fuqua's under center. Takes his 5-step drop. Flips it out to Chambers. Fights his way upfield. Keeps fighting. Juking. Back juking. Gets knocked out of bounds. 19 yards, but really great effort from Tommy Chambers, who works real hard to get upfield and continue to keep his legs churning. That's the effort we love to see. Good job by Tommy Chambers there. Marshall moving it downfield. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Running left, Payne with a good cutback. Pushing through a DB. Now fighting off tackles. 20 yards as Ethan Payne up to 78 yards in this first half. Showing some real good power. If only we had that breakaway speed. Unfortunately, we don't. 5-step drop. Now drifting. Fuqua out of the pocket. Not going to throw this one. We just got to dive it in. Can't risk the INT. Can't have another empty possession. Fuqua keeps it himself. They're doing a good job. This was zone coverage. We thought we had Brennan Armstrong there for a second, but it wasn't a safe throw. Let's just go ahead and tuck, get as much as we can, and as much as we could got us into the end zone. 10-7, Marshall finds a way to put some points back up on the board, overcome the INT. Now Del Rio Wilson basically has an extended 2-minute drill to try to get some points of his own, finding John Sullivan for 7 yards on 1st down. They're going fast. Clock is moving. Now running to Bergstrand. He's going to get up inside. He's got the first. 2 minutes to go exactly. Del Rio Wilson in shotgun. Protection holds up. Miscommunication down the left side. As Lyles was coming back to the ball, Del Rio was throwing it downfield. 2nd and 10, underneath, check down to the sideline. Johnson, no one getting out to him. It's going to get shoved out. Kevin Johnson has 14. Minute 49 to go, 1st and 10, right on the midfield stripe. Now straight up the seam, Sullivan holds on to another one, and Florida's going to take their first timeout. 10-7 our score, 1:46 to play, 2nd and 4. Del Rio Wilson looks to tuck, finds some room as we're in man coverage. He's got nobody's QB spying him, and he's able to pick up the first down. 31 yards, about 8 per clip for Del Rio Wilson using his legs. So that's something we're going to have to pay attention to. Finding Bergstrand late out of the backfield, spiraling off a tackle. He's got 10 yards, falls forward. They give him the first down. Del Rio Wilson looks to run, but this time he runs right into Aiden Hubbard. Beautifully done. Aiden Hubbard gets the sack. They decide to keep the clock rolling. 2nd and 13. Del Rio Wilson, same exact situation. He sneaks out the right side. It's going to get hit. He's got another 16-yard gain. They take a timeout. 50 seconds left. They're about the 11-yard line. Speed option. Del Rio Wilson fights off a tackle, pitches it to Bergstrand, who's got speed, and he gets around the corner. Elvis Bergstrand on the speed option, and what a 2-minute drive put together by Florida. Del Rio Wilson, what a play. Fight off the tackle, do the late pitch, get it to your best running back, and he gets in. 14-10, 40 seconds to go. Marshall does have the 3 timeouts, but now they trail again as we go back and forth. Brennan Armstrong in a tight window holds onto this one. We take a timeout. 36 seconds. Pass protection holding up. Launching downfield. It's William Matthews behind the defense. He shuts off 2 guys and he's going to score. No way. 55-yard touchdown pass. William Matthews with the great individual effort. Fights off the man coverage. Gets downfield. Safety roams over. Back juke on the safety. DB is not expecting him to stop, so he's not ready to make the tackle, and William Matthews is going to stroll into the end zone. This is awesome. Check this out. Then takes the hit, falls off the DB. The DB falls off. William Matthews with the wheels. He's into the end zone, and what a change of momentum as we end this first half. In the very next play after the points, Del Rio Wilson getting sacked, we take our timeout, trying to get this ball back. 24 seconds. Bergstrand up the middle. Jermaine Johnson and Stratton are there. We take our last timeout, wondering if we can force them into another bad decision. Bergstrand, 3rd and 14. Blocks hold up well. Daniels misses the tackle. Stratton. Oh my God, we almost blew it. Luckily, Stratton gets his shoestrings. They're going to go fast. They have 1 timeout. They're not going to use it. In the shotgun, they're probably looking to throw now. Del Rio Wilson looks to run, and he makes a bad decision. Tried to get up into the scramble drill, and it did not work. They take a timeout. 5 seconds left. Got to be a Hail Mary situation. Loading up deep to about the 5, and it gets knocked down. Woo, man, oh man, what a hectic final 2 minutes of the first half. Marshall and Florida both scoring quickly as we close out this halftime, 17-14. Marshall's got the lead, but that thing went back and forth between these two teams. Check out these stats. We lead them in passing yards, 118-80. We are winning in rush yards, but we've had the ball for about twice the amount of time. So Florida's done a really good job being effective and explosive with the little bit of time they've had the ball. Both teams have turned it over once. If it's going to go back and forth like this, buckle your seatbelts for the second half of the national title game. Kevin Hayes on to get this third quarter started. Ball up into the air. This one is returnable from just inside his 5. Patton, the backup running back. Ryan Young hits him, forces him out of bounds. It's an 18-yard return for Patton, and that's where this second half is going to start, from the Florida 20. Del Rio Wilson play action, throwing over the middle right behind Ryan Young, finds Lyles for a 14-yard reception. Now a draw to Bergstrand, but Marshall's ready for it. Good job by the DBs and linebackers there, reading that one all the way. Malcolm Folk, TFL. 2nd and 12. This one thrown away by Del Rio Wilson. And that one sets them up with a 3rd and 12. Set back. Del Rio Wilson looking to the sideline. He does find Jackson. It's well short of the sticks. And that's a quick 3 and out forced by the Marshall defense. Fuqua and the boys get it back. Their side of the 30. Running up the middle, Ethan Payne finding a little crease, 12 yards. He's been great. He's closing in on 100 yards already. Now another good run up the middle. It actually gets turned away. Only 2 yards by Payne, even though that hole was huge. John Bash motioning into the backfield. But we're going to sweep it right to Payne. Payne hits the spin move upfield, bounces off a tackle, fighting, continuing to fight. 28 yards by Ethan Payne as he continues to run the ball hard and bounce off of tacklers. This is a great spin move. Takes the contact from Daniels, their best linebacker. Finally gets drugged down, but we are set up across the 35. Casey Smith in there to spell him. Good little run. He's got 5. 6:20 to go in the third quarter. Fuqua feeling some pressure. Scrambles out the left side. Is he going to get down and protect himself? He does. Now 1st and 10 from about the 18-yard line as we're inside the red zone. Zone read keeper Fuqua getting across the first down inside the 5, down around the 3, 15 yards. Beautifully done as Fuqua is also up to 93 yards. Doing work with his legs today as well. Turn around and give to Payne, and he's into the end zone. 3-yard touchdown. Ethan Payne finishes off a physical drive with a physical run down at the goal line. That is a decleater on the safety from Florida, and that is a beautiful thing to see. Ethan Payne, have yourself a day. Marshall, 24-14 early in the third quarter. 10-point lead gives us a little breathing room. We've given up 216 yards, but we do have 4 sacks, and we forced the INT. So I'm not upset with how the defense has played. We just got to continue to hold strong here. That's a good start. Well done by Rashid Price to bring down Bergstrand after 1. 2nd and 9. Del Rio Wilson tries the late pitch to Patton. We're all over it. Speed option, 4-yard loss, TFL by Jermaine Johnson, and they do not want to live here. 3rd and 13 where we can get creative with the blitz, but this is a really nice screen, but heck of a play by Daniels, or is that Sanders? Gets around the 2 offensive linemen with speed, forces the 3 and out, and Marshall in business. That was a great play by Mario Sanders as we try to get the toss going to Ethan Payne on 1st down, going nowhere. 2nd and 9, switching sides. Turn around and give to Payne again, trying to get upfield, falling forward. It's going to leave us with a 3rd and 2. Checks at the line, under 10 seconds on the play clock. Play action. Fuqua looking downfield. He's got to manage John Bass behind the DB and in the end zone. They decide to scoot the DBs into press coverage. They've played a ton of man today. We catch them sleeping on 3rd and 2, hit them with the deep shot play action. John Bass, our best wide receiver, behind the defense, and I've been targeting that guy, number 41, their white cornerback. He does not have the speed, and he has gotten burned twice. What a huge play. 31-14 as the Marshall D has stepped up, so has the Marshall O, putting points on the board, and the lead is growing and getting comfortable. Lyles out on the sideline. He's got 12, and they convert a 1st down. This is a big drive for Florida as we close down on the end of the third quarter. How did he get away from Hubbard? Del Rio Wilson gets hit hard, but he should have been sacked. 2nd and 6 upcoming. Giving it Bergstrand on the counter. No one out there for Marshall. Folk slowing him down. We rally. He's got 7 yards in the 1st. 1st and 10. Johnson the motion man. They sweep it to Bergstrand, and there's Aiden Hubbard knifing in and hitting the running back in the backfield. TFL Hubbard, who's playing well this second half. Now Patton, the speedster, out along the sideline. Can Sanders get there? He does. Push him just out. Terrence Patton, that backup sort of thunder and lightning situation with Bergstrand as he wears the Jordan 1s. Oh, looking good, looking clean, and he makes a big play there of 37. Del Rio Wilson using his legs. The most frustrating thing in the world is just want to hit him, and he slides down as they're inside the 10, and they're putting together a big drive right when they needed it. Patton up the middle for 3. 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. Late pitch, speed option, we blow it on the sideline. And Andrew Davis, their 3rd running back into the game, he scores, number 47. Ah, man, the speed option. We had Josh Hardiman. We were using him. By the time we click onto him, you see I'm hitting square. You see his arms open, but he never targets to the right guy. And Davis is into the end zone. Florida puts together a big-time scoring drive. Huge for them, as Marshall has been making it work. Touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. 31-21 our score. 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Payne on 1st down up the middle, falling forward on top of bodies. 7 yards. He's ran great today as we give it to him again here. Power play to the left side, following Derek Marcus, our All-American left tackle. Play action now. We have a chance, and we catch him sleeping in zone. Tommy Chambers along the sideline, working upfield. He's going to get drugged down. 20 yards. Marshall looking good. Start of the 4th quarter. Payne falling forward. Good D there by Florida, only a 2-yard pickup. 2nd and 8. Quickly out to the sideline to Chambers. It's a short pickup, but now 3rd down's a little more manageable. 3rd and 6. Tommy Chambers breaking tackles as he has another catch on this drive. 39 yards this time, and he's down around the 6. Beautifully done by Tommy as he's showing up today. Fuqua now back of the end zone. Brennan Armstrong, and that huge target. Easy money. Huge response drive by Marshall to put another touchdown on the board. This is just gorgeous. Lobbed up to the back pylon. You know that Armstrong's going to beat his man, and this is simple. Play action. Man-to-man coverage. Lob it to the pylon, and just know that 81's going to get there. Touchdown Marshall. Fuqua, his third passing touchdown on the day. 38-21, 17-point lead for Marshall. 6.5 to go. Some reason we've given Patton another attempt at a return, and this one's going to make us pay. Across the 35, just short of the 40. It's a 35-yard return by Patton. Set them up with good field position. Marshall's D needs to stand up. Another scoring drive by Florida would give them a ton of confidence going into the late stages of the fourth. 10-yard pickup on first down by Kevin Johnson. Del Rio Wilson, 133 yards passing. Not putting up a ton of yards, but doing some work. Del Rio Wilson down the sideline. This is a huge one. Johnson, as he shrugs off Mario Sanders, Kevin Johnson is going to get into the end zone. There's your first touchdown from Del Rio Wilson. He gets protection, and for however many consecutive weeks in a row, we have Mario Sanders in cover 3. He's responsible for the deep third on his side, and he gets got by the vertical by the number 2. The ball goes to the vertical by the number 3 on his side, and it is into the end zone. Florida with the quick strike, feeling like they can stay in this one. 38-28, 6 minutes to go in the fourth. Marshall needs to put together a long, slow drive, protect the football, don't give Florida any opportunity to get it back quickly and score quickly again, as Mario Sanders cost us another big touchdown play. 4:45 to go. 7-step drop. Fuqua got to make smart decisions. He's going to keep it himself, then throws late, and this one's going to be incomplete. I really was actually hitting square to try to slide and not take the hit, but I was still behind the line of scrimmage, so Fuqua throws it, and the clock stops. Ethan Payne, though, he makes the play. 2nd and 10, he rushes for 12, and that is a huge run. 174 yards and counting for Payne. Casey Smith now in the game, juking upfield. 4:20 to play. Now, pistol, play action, rolling out, launching deep. He's got a man. It's William Matthews behind the defense. And Marshall's going to score another one. 46 yards, 291 through the air, 4 scores. Fuqua and Marshall have been killing Florida in this man coverage, play action situation all day. Gets off the press coverage, and actually, let me correct myself. That is cover 2 with the safety right there on the hash marks getting completely baited by the run, and he's the last man standing, and it's already past him. William Matthews makes it happen. Marshall scores, and that might have just been the dagger. Under 4 to play. It's 45-28. Del Rio Wilson has to score like right now, and that's not going to help. Aiden Hubbard grabs his shoestrings. 2nd and 9 in shotgun. Tucking again, feeling a lot of pressure. Daniels hits him hard, keeps him inbounds. Clock is running. All 3 timeouts for Florida. Del Rio Wilson running for the 3rd straight play. Now we have a spy on him. Ryan Young hits him, and it's a 4th and 3. 2:45 as he switches sides of the play, makes a check. Blitz is coming. They find Bryant behind the DB. Sanders falls off, can't make the tackle, and Phillip Bryant goes for 25 as we got ultra aggressive there on 4th and 3. 2:31 to go. Del Rio Wilson running again, and we cannot bring him down as he's been really effective with his legs, but he just feels super shaky. He's not been standing in there and making throws, but he does right here. Sullivan, 17 yards on the slant, has the first down. They're inside the red zone again. Del Rio Wilson, 2 minutes to go. Pressure coming. He checks it down to the flat. It's Patton who shakes off 2 guys and gets upfield. Terrence Patton, 11 yards, has the first down. He's been electric today. Del Rio Wilson under pressure. Hey, nice play there. Is that Stratton? It is the defensive tackle. Stratton in the game, finding a way to get to the quarterback. Really nice play. They're going to keep the clock running. Del Rio Wilson, 120. Looking underneath. Hits blanks. He gets hit. Clock is still running. No timeouts. A minute to go. Del Rio Wilson surveys. Waits too long. Gets absolutely demolished. The defensive ends, Hubbard and Johnson, are going to have a party at the QB as he's just holding it way too long. Excuse me, that's Davis, the true freshman defensive end, in there in the late stages as we're subbing. That's a big play. They're going to eventually take that timeout. Del Rio Wilson is injured and not in the game, so this 4th and goal has the backup Hunter. They try to get the screen, and look at Hardiman. He gets off of 2 blocks. He jumps over a guy who tries to cut him, and look at this. Makes the play on 4th and goal. It's a turnover on downs, and Marshall just needs to ice this thing. Ethan Payne's final carries in a Marshall uni, breaking this one open. We didn't necessarily need it, but we just decided to keep running it. He gets over the 200-yard threshold, and we decide to kneel it out from there. Holy cow. Marshall gets it done. They say it's hard to win. It's even harder to repeat. Marshall is real. It is not a one-hit wonder. Back back-to-back national champions. Vindication for Coach Mayo, for James Fuqua. So many of these guys who heard that the change to a Power 5 conference was going to be too much for them to handle. They weren't hearing any of it this year, and the flag is planted atop the college football world once again. Fuqua leads us with 291 through the air, another 91 on the ground, 5 total touchdowns. The early interception is the only blemish, as we expected Matthews to keep running to space in the back of the end zone. Outside of that, he was dominant. Ethan Payne, 204 yards rushing, 4 runs of 20-plus yards or more, a touchdown. He is the thunder to the Fuqua Lightning. He has been all season long, and they wear these teams out down the stretch throughout the course of the game on the ground. Awesome stuff by 28 today in his final game. Last guy I want to mention on offense, 2 catches, 101 yards. Both of them go for touchdowns. William Matthews' performance gives me a ton of confidence that after John Bass leaves to graduation this year, we are going to be just fine at wide receiver. The Marshall defense holds them to 37% on third down, 50% in the red zone. The INT in the first quarter with the game still in the balance from David Watkins was huge. Honestly, Florida played pretty well throughout. They had it close. It was within 10 early into the fourth quarter, but we were able to make enough plays, especially explosive plays in the passing game. And then our pass rush just turns it on late in the game to get key sacks. You get 5 sacks total, 2 from Rasheed Price in his last game, 2 from Aiden Hubbard in his last game, 1 from Jermaine Johnson, who should be coming back. So all 3 of our All-Americans on the defensive line closed this door and slam it shut when we needed them to. What a game by these guys.
Another one.
In my DJ Khaled voice, we will go ahead and add these bad boys to the profile. You love to see it. We even get the back-to-back trophy in there as well, which I don't see very often in this game. But we got to advance on and get ready for the offseason. We see Fuqua demolish the passing touchdown school record this year. He throws for 51. Rakeem Cato previously had the record back in 2014 with 40. So Fuqua is a Marshall legend for sure. Forever etched in the record books. All 61 of the coaches poll votes go to us, as they should. Marshall finishes in the top spot. Georgia up to number 2. Florida down to number 3. North Carolina, Pitt, and Clemson all end up in the top 10. So the ACC is well represented. It was the top conference all season, and it will be again next year. Man, quickly, I want to touch on a couple of the bowl games that stood out to me. USC gets the 49-42 win over Akron, so the Zips must have been kind of good. That or USC is really, really bad. The Buckeyes lose their 4th game of the year to NC State 28-21 in the Mayo Bowl. That's how far Ryan Day and the Buckeyes have come, and my Buckeye heart is broken. Florida State, who we saw this year, losing to Stanford 28-20 in the Holiday Bowl, but Clemson picks up the big win 38-21 against a decent Houston team in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. And we got to talk about this. 30-23 in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Alabama finishes their year 7-6, losing to Tulsa. Anthony Palmer, who took over for Nick Saban, our former defensive coordinator, he might be on the hot seat already. That's got to be completely unacceptable in Tuscaloosa. The Pitt Panthers, who we saw in the ACC title, they win the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl 45-21, finish the season 12-2, so Narduzzi's group was really good. North Carolina 38-21 over a questionable Vanderbilt team. The Tar Heels in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl going to finish the year 10-3 and in the top 5, so good for them, good for the ACC. Final couple games, the Lending Tree Bowl, Notre Dame losing to App State 24-10, and Georgia Southern beating LSU in the Birmingham Bowl 34-24. So some wild bowl game results here as we're into season 5 going on season 6 in this series. The college football landscape is absolutely shifting. But as we take one final look at this Marshall roster for season 5, what a squad. Back-to-back champions, Marshall legends littered throughout. We're going to lose a lot of firepower to graduation in the draft, but we have put together 3 straight top 5 recruiting classes, including this current class, which has been ranked number 1 from the start of the year until now. So will this program take a dip as we lose the Heisman winner, or are we just going to reload and go again after the three-peat? Thank you guys for watching so much today. You guys are the best. I appreciate the love and support on this series. Like and subscribe. Look out for the off-season episode coming at you real soon. Take care. Peace.